Greetings. We from the Mystic Rose Collective are here with you today to share our messages of love, peace, healing, and harmony. The message we have for you today is cultivating inner joy, happiness, contentment, and peace. These are the things that you are seeking as a human being. These are the things that you find so troubling because it is difficult to access. And there are so many things that pull you away from these loving vibrations of happiness and joy. And to that, what we say to you is that yes, you exist in a realm of duality where there is both love and fear, and what you seek is aligned with love. That is the vibration that they originate from. And the fear that is present in your realm, the anxiety, the emotions more aligned with sadness, with anger and frustration, those pull you from your joyful essence. And it is not to say that you should feel bad for having these other emotions, because they are, in fact, part of the human experience. And it is understandable for you to have them. In fact, they are clues to you. They are guidance to you when you are feeling fearful, or you're feeling angry, or you're feeling sad, or you're feeling frustrated. There is an activating event, which could also be just a thought at play. And it is telling you how you are out of alignment with your inner source, with your divinity, with your true essence, which is love. And so being able to sit with the feelings, not judge the feelings, gain access to the deeper wisdom that they hold, and understanding of what is out of alignment and what needs attention, love, or healing, then you have a better chance of getting yourself back into a place of love, of peace, of joy. But you cannot bypass the feelings that you're having, because any perceived joy will be A, fleeting, and B, not authentic, because there are things that are being hidden or things that are being pushed away, things that are existing underneath the surface. And so it will be, you put on a happy face, but that does not mean it penetrates deeper into your core being. And so instead, you must sit with the difficult feelings, gain awareness, and then talk with your system about how do we shift? How do we shift our perspective? How do we shift our mindset? How do we shift the frequency that we are emanating? How do we shift our body? And so there's no clear-cut answer that is this step followed by this step followed by this step will lead you to peace and joy and happiness, because what brings you peace, joy, and happiness is very different from what brings another peace, joy, and happiness. You are all individuals. You are all here to have a unique experience. And so you must be the ones who decide, this is what will bring me peace, joy, and happiness. But you first must explore. You must be in tune with your body and your sensations and how your emotions speak to you. And you will know peace and you will know joy based on how your body feels and how your mind is communicating. If your body is feeling light and airy and relaxed and expansive and maybe some excitement, you know that your body is more in alignment with love. If your body feels heavy and dense or tense or buzzing from fear and so many other ways, you know that your emotional state is more in alignment with fear or something else on that end of the spectrum. And so, again, we do not judge, but we use it as a tool of understanding and a tool to help us shift into a more harmonious frequency. of what you truly want to experience. So get curious, understand the reasoning, understand what your body's communicating with you, what your mindset is delivering, and then ask the questions. What do I truly need in this moment? And you listen not with your ears, but with, again, your body. Your body holds great wisdom for you. Many times, what you need is more sleep. What you need is more nutritious meals. What you need is time with friends. What you need is movement. What you need is a creative outlet. But oftentimes, your mind gets in the way and will communicate something of the nature of what you humans term as productivity. I'll feel better when my house is immaculately clean. I'll feel better when the laundry is put away. I'll feel better when I have completed X, Y, and Z for work. And while we know that life cannot always be all fun and no work, what we believe has happened in your realm is that more people are all work and no fun. And that's not how it is meant to be either. Your inner soul wants to play. This is not just the essence of your inner child, although your inner child very much wants to play, but your soul itself is very joyful. It is very playful. It wants you to experience happiness. It does not want you to suffer. It does not want you to be bogged down by these responsibilities and these things that are not of a joyful essence. It wants you to experience a happy life, a peaceful life, a fun life, one of experiences and memories, one where you feel fulfilled. Do you feel fulfilled by spending all of your waking hours outside of work doing house chores? Of course not, unless that is something that genuinely brings you joy, and to that we do not judge. That would be wonderful. But for most people, that is not something that truly and genuinely brings them joy. And so we say, yes, do the chores that you have, but release the pressure of how it needs to be perfect and how it needs to look. Instead, give yourself time and space and energy to pursue the things that light you up, that excite you, that make you feel this sense of joy and peace and spark inside. And that might be listening to an audiobook while you do a puzzle. That might be just reading or being or meditating or sitting outside and watching the birds. It does not matter what it is just matters about how it makes you feel, what vibration it brings into your being when you are experiencing that thing. How does it shift you? How does it lift you up? How does it make you feel more hopeful, more gratitude, more desire to pursue the things that light your heart on fire? So, as we have said, there is not one cookie cutter way we can offer to you to bring more joy and happiness into your life. It is really getting acquainted with your system, understanding what is bringing you farther away from the essence of your soul, which is love and joy, and figuring out what does your soul most crave? What does it need? What would bring it back to a place of harmony? And so for these things, we encourage you to get quiet and to drop your awareness out of your brain and into your body, letting your parts speak, letting your body speak, and not analyzing it or judging it if what comes up is surprising. Perhaps you are not somebody who particularly likes to do puzzles, but as you're tuning in to your body, that image pops into your mind. And so Instead of holding tight to the identity of that is not something that I do, release that and try it. Be brave to try something new and not expect perfection out of yourself when you're doing something for the first time. We would argue that you should not expect perfection out of yourself, period, but that is a matter for another day. So we hope that this message is helpful for you, helpful in being able to embody who you really are, releasing what is holding you back, and becoming your higher self. And your higher self holds the wisdom, holds the knowledge, holds the truth of who you are. And by living as your higher self, you're giving yourself the opportunity to live a more happy, joyful, and peaceful life. We love you so much, dear ones. And with that, our message is complete.